So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Deanna, for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me. I just love your group so far. It's just so informative and so helpful. It's what the world needs, especially right now.
Well, we wanted to make Facebook positive again. And I have to say, like, watching what you've done on the internet has been really inspiring as well. And so I just wanted to introduce everybody to you, and you can tell, everybody about you and what you've been doing, because you are killing it, girl.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, exactly 1 year ago, I guess, my friend Cassidy Bach, who is an equine photographer, we decided that the world, the equestrian world especially, needs more of a support system because we're all entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, and it's a very lonely life. You always feel like you're in competition with one another. You feel like you have to know it all the time, that you can never ask questions because these people are paying you for the answers. And if you don't have them, well, maybe they'll go somewhere else. So anyway, we created the business called Level Up Equestrian, and that comes with our private Facebook group called the Warm Up Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea is to provide a support system for equestrian entrepreneurs. And our goal behind all of this with Level Up Equestrian is to provide an online course for anyone interested in marketing their equestrian business in 2020 and beyond using social media, because social media has become word of mouth. Social
Yeah.
media is where everybody is. And a lot of equestrians are way behind the times when it comes to using social media and even using computers and email. And, we're so busy with horses that we, forget to update our websites or to send out the email list or, so, but really that's the most important thing. And it's the most effective marketing tool out there. So that's our big plan. That's what we're offering with Level Up Equestrian.
Hi, I'm Cassidy.
And I'm Deanna.
And together we're Level Up Equestrian.
Level Up Equestrian is a social media focused resource for the equestrian community designed with the ambitious, hardworking, yet struggling equine professional in mind. It has become abundantly clear to us that most of the equestrian world is way behind the times when it comes to successfully marketing their business. Paper calendars, landline telephones, and printed flyers at the local feed store still go hand in hand with your average equine-related entrepreneurs despite the ongoing advances in technology. We believe it's time for a change. They say the 8 most expensive words in business are, but we have always done it that way. Conducting business in the horse world is no exception. The horse world is a tough community to be part of, and being a business owner in the horse world makes it even harder. It's imperative that equestrian entrepreneurs stay up to date with modern marketing strategies. Our mission is to help you get out of the endless vortex of 16-hour workdays so that your business can go from barely surviving to thriving.
It is so cool. And I agree. There's a lot of things that I think not just young professionals, but professionals in general, we don't take time, we're in the barn. And I loved one of your ads that was like, are you broke and exhausted and like working, 16 hours a day, and we can help you with that. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have met you like 20 years ago because it's like exhausting, and everybody's like breaking their back, breaking their bank account. And, it's really hard to bring like regular business sense to not only like promoting yourself, because that feels completely awkward and uncomfortable. And you feel like, well, who am I to say this about myself, but if you don't get it out there, like no one will know. And then you're just this like best kept secret no one knows about, you know? And so like, how do you bridge that gap with young trainers and older trainers too, of like, you've got to spend time on this? Like, how did you guys come up with that idea and kind of like bring it to life?
Well, first of all, my personal inspiration for creating Level Up Equestrian was my two horse trainer friends that I have nearby in Charlotte, where I live. They are so talented, but again, way behind the times when it comes to technology and marketing, and they're charging next to nothing. And they are totally overrun. They have a waiting list a mile long. So, you know, they're getting repeat business, but they're not, in my opinion, charging enough for what they're worth. And then they're working themselves to the bone, not charging enough. And it's a shame that they don't know how to, you know, quite organize their business to charge what they're worth and their talents.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads us to what you were talking about. Basically, it's called the imposter syndrome, where you feel awkward and uncomfortable in marketing yourself and
Mm-hmm.
charging what you should be charging, like my friends. And, you know, the way I think about it and the way, you know, Cassidy put it is that if you are being shy about sharing your talents with the world, it's almost like you're, in a way, being selfish and withholding what people and what horses, you know, could benefit from. So if you kind of think about it like that, because I think a lot of equestrians want to do everything they can. I mean, they just will give their shirt away for helping a horse or helping a client. They'll do anything to help promote the industry, help the horses. And then, you know, they're afraid to share themselves. So if you think about it like that, then I think it makes it a little bit easier. And it's not so much that you have to market yourself like, I'm a horse trainer, hire me now.
I'm so great. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that. You can just talk about what you enjoy and share your journey as you're going along, even if you are young or you know, aspiring. You can you know, talk about what you like doing or the certain horse that you're working with, and you will have people chasing you instead of you chasing clients and spending all this time running around the tack shops and hanging up paper flyers.
Yes. Of which we have all done at some point in our life. I think that's a great piece of advice too, because if you could just, and now it's so easy with your phone, right? It's just like, hey, talk about what you love about training horses, you know, and just putting yourself out there does take some bravery, but it gets a lot less awkward as you get better and just speak from your heart and really authentic. I mean, that's what you want to show people because that is who you are, but it's hard to like have this idea and everyone's a little bit scared of, you know, live. And I mean, I was that way too. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know how it works, right? I'm like, is it on? I don't know what's happening, you know? And it's actually really fun because it really is just you and the camera and talk about what you love about horses, you know? And so tell me a little bit about your program and how that works and how, like, what people sign up for and what they get with that.
Yeah, so our course is an online course and it is kind of broken up into 5 modules. We walk you through how to best utilize Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We also talk to you, we have a module within the course about your personal brand and what that means to develop. And at the end of the course, we talk about marketing strategy, how to put it all together and where you're headed with your dream vision of your business. We talk to you about, oh, and by the way, it's available via text. You can download it and just read it on your phone or on your computer, or you can print it out, or you can listen to it as you're driving to the barn or mucking stalls or doing whatever. We've got a ton of bonus material, like 5 tips on how to get comfortable in front of the camera. Cause that takes some practice. I know when I started my YouTube channel 4 years ago, it was so cringy. It was, oh my gosh, I can't. So anyway, we talked to you about that, and we give you, and by the way, we have a private Facebook group, a mastermind Facebook group, giving you up-to-date techniques like shortcuts on your phone, like things that we've discovered recently with the Facebook algorithm or Instagram, how to get more engagement and all that stuff that you want to, if you're going to sit down to get on social media and post something on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, any of that, you want it to be seen, because you've just taken the time to make a post, and it takes a few minutes to do. You want it to be seen by your next potential ideal client or sponsors or networking friends and whatnot. So we teach you how to make your stuff seen without feeling gross about it, like, I'm a trainer, hire me now. So that's kind of what our course is about. You get the whole deal online, and it's all do it yourself at your own pace. And then you get the private Facebook group, the mastermind group as well.
I mean, this is just, it's brilliant. I am such a huge fan, and I think it's so needed in our sport for sure. But like, how did you guys get so good at it? Like, it's you and Cassidy, right?
Yeah.
And so
Cassidy,
how did you guys like navigate your way to become like so good at it?
Well, it's just taken some trial and error. We've been studying the social media algorithms on our own platforms for a couple of years now. Like I said, I started my YouTube channel 4 years ago, and I've learned all about the hashtags and the keywords that need to go into your description section, and thumbnails and titles. And it's taken some time and research over the past couple of years, but developing our own platforms on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube, we've just kind of figured out what works, and of course, learned more. We're always learning more because the algorithm is always changing and technology is always changing. And, a lot of trial and error and a lot of mess ups. And basically, with what we're proposing with our online course is to take everything we've learned, we've concentrated it down and left all the mistakes behind, and consolidated all of the information into something that you can just get without all the years of trial and error like we've done.
Yeah. Well, we all appreciate you both for getting your way already through it so you can share it with us. And you've also got a training business as well. So how do you mix all of that and have balance also? I know you had a post a little while ago about burnout, and which is also a huge thing in our sport. So how do you mix having this really successful business and this online, way of helping everyone and train horses and have a regular life? Because that's part of like, it's part of being a trainer, is to like suffer the long hours, and you never go on a date with your husband, and it's like, that's not true. Like a lot of us, I'm on vacation, it's like, you create a great team around you to be able to do it. But how do you find balance in everything that you're doing?
Yeah, so with my training business, I do teach and ride about 40 lessons a week. Those are private lessons. So, that itself is definitely a full-time job. My lessons are, 45 minutes. So it's not quite, 40 hours a week. I've got 2 of my own horses in training, and then, a bunch of horses that I'm training and a bunch of private lessons that I'm teaching. So that part is very busy, but I think finding balance comes with creating boundaries. I am really strict about when my clients and how they can contact me. No after hours, no contact unless it's an emergency, of course, on my days off. And that has really helped. Of course, it really helps having a great teammate like Cassidy to create Level Up Equestrian. We both have our strengths and our weaknesses when it comes to the internet and technology. And so I do what I'm good at. She's created our entire website and the entire online course, because that's her strengths. And then I promote the business on my larger platform. I have a little over 12,000 subscribers on YouTube and 35,000 on TikTok. So I focus on my platforms that I have the big audience, and she's the master of Instagram. So she focuses on that over there, and, collaborating helps for sure. For my training business, I only work with the horses 4 days a week. So I'm teaching those 40 lessons in those 4 days. So it's about 10 a day, because I have 2 days a week off and 1 day a week for just this kind of stuff, creating videos and doing all my online stuff. So I think creating a consistent day off that you take no matter what is really important in finding balance. And those days you just cannot even teach one lesson. You just can't do it. It's got to be on your days that you have assigned with the horses. And then again, like I said, collaborating with a partner is really, really helpful. So it's a struggle.
The struggle is real. And how did you and Cassidy meet?
Oh, she was my working student several years ago. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she was trying to basically decide between dressage and jumping, and obviously jumping is so much fun, so she kind of went that way. And but we're still really great friends, and of course, and Cassidy is just such a strong leader and motivator, and I think of myself as a leader as well, being an entrepreneur. So it kind of all just happened. It was her kind of idea, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
That's so great. I mean, I think it's such an important piece that's missing from a lot of trainers, that, we spend all this time learning how to ride well and manage the horses, which comes from also a lot of trial and error. And then, becoming a good people person and a good teacher kind of comes secondary after you realize that it's a people sport, even though you started it because you loved horses, but every horse is attached to a person. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of forced to become a good people person too. But then there's this whole other aspect of the business side, which is, again, marketing and putting yourself out there. And, that's just awesome what you guys are doing.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. I very much respect you. I've been following you for a long time. Oh, and side note, I used to be a working student for Stacey Hastings, and I've ridden Montana and Dakota.
Ah!
Isn't that wild?
That's so funny. Isn't he just, Montana is like a little giant bear. Like, he is just the sweetest horse on the planet.
I know.
Yeah, so that's so fun. And, I think like with Stacey, it's like she's been, it's hard when like someone used to ride the horse and then you get the horse and you're kind of got this shared experience in a weird way. But, Stacey's just a class act and has always been super supportive. And I think online programs and what you bring in your warm-up arena in your Facebook group, and hopefully what we do also on Team Tate TV, really creates like a like-minded group that we can all be for each other. And it doesn't need to be, I'm better than you, or I need to get your clients, or, I mean, there's enough, there's abundance for everyone, and I think, during a time when a lot of us turn to the internet, and, what you've created there is pretty special. And I just wanted to, hear more about that, and just, say you're awesome. That was just great. How long have you guys been doing your online work?
Yeah, we've had Level Up Equestrian for a year, but
Okay.
we've been offering the online course for 9 months, I think it is.
Okay.
So yeah, and we've broken it down to buying the modules individually. If that's what you want to do, you just want to focus on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. But the real deal, if you want to really dive into utilizing social media now and in the future, is if you buy the whole course. So yeah,
Well,
it's been fun.
now that I've gotten more on Facebook and all that, I think I'm gonna sign up and get a couple tutorials on how to do all this.
Yeah.
And I can't let you go until I ask you, how did you become so passionate about the Tennessee walking industry? Because I admire that and I love that, because I mean, with anything, right? Like, if you don't speak up, you accept it. And without bringing a voice, like, I just really want to, you know, acknowledge what you're doing. And, whenever you disagree, you're going to get backlash and negative things. And you talk about that too on the warm up arena. And like, that's important too. But it's like, how did you get onto that? And where did you find the courage to really like stand up against that? Because I can't even imagine what you're up against, and I applaud you for it.
Thank you so much. And thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. Okay. Well, the big lick stuff in the Tennessee walking show world. First of all, just really quick, the Tennessee walking industry has what they compare to Grand Prix dressage. They have their most elite horses that are geared towards big lick, should they choose to go that way. They call it padded performance because padded sounds nicer than big lick. Anyway, it's their most athletic horses are trained to lift their legs really, really high. And the reason I say trained is because they have 2-year-olds doing this in classes. So, I mean, you can't, that horse doesn't have
can't
much
train
training.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so the horses are traveling on stacks and they have chains around their ankles and all of this auxiliary equipment to encourage the horse to lift their legs really high. So that's basically what big lick is. It's rampant throughout the Southeast, and it is not at every Tennessee walking horse show. It is different than saddle seat, which is governed by the USEF. Big lick is self-governed. So we got problems right there.
Yeah. Problem number 5.
Anyway, so I saw stuff about the big lick a while ago just on Facebook, and I was like, what is happening right now? Why are those horses carrying those big blocks on their feet? And that is so bizarre. So I went to a show in Asheville, very close to Charlotte, North Carolina, where they host the big lick classes. And this is held at a public facility. So our tax dollars are paying for this. And I took a bunch of video and I just watched the show. It's free. I didn't put any money towards it. I took a bunch of video and pictures and I just watched and tried to learn for myself. And, I think that's important too. If you want to, it's good, you need to learn for yourself and not just see stuff on YouTube, because anybody can make a YouTube channel. You need to learn as much as you can for yourself and draw your own opinion, which I invite everyone listening here to do. So anyway, I went to the show and I watched, and I still felt the same way, that the whole thing was very bizarre. And I've done tons of research. I've spoken with not tons, but a lot of current big lick trainers and judges and competitors, and just try to learn as much as I can about the industry. And the thing is, they just really think that the whole thing is normal because, you know, their parents did it and their friends did it. So they're just around it all the time. So it's really just a difference of opinion in how horses should be treated. So anyway, I've taken a stance against it on social media. And to be honest with you, even though it's risky, and even though I've put my neck out there basically to be criticized, which I have a lot. You know, they've attacked my being, my face, my body, my husband. You know, they've come at me in every angle just because, you know, that's what you do when you get mad and you don't have a leg to stand on. But anyway, having a voice for something you truly believe in and that you're passionate about, as long as you can project your opinions in an educational way, is, you know, what we're here for, you know, as professionals. You know, people pay us to tell us our opinion, our educated opinion. And so, you know, I don't feel ashamed at speaking against what I truly believe is inhumane. So I don't have a problem with, you know, people disagreeing with me because I'm an educated professional. I've researched this. I've seen it for myself, and I'm sharing my message and my opinion, which everybody can do. So anyway, I gotta stop.
Well, thank you for doing that, and for everything you guys have created. Tell Cassidy it's also really awesome, and it's fun to see a partnership out there working so great. And I mean, I've got Catherine on my side who does all things computer because I can only really ride horses. But it's been really cool to see what you guys are doing, and, you know, changing the industry, and, you know, again, creating a really positive platform for all of us to get different advice and read other people's experiences. And, you know, just thank you so much for creating a shared place and for everything that you guys do.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Again, that means a lot. And thank you again for inviting me on here. And I cannot wait to see more on Team Tate TV and in your group. I just love it so much.